Religion and politics are provocative topics, with some people having very strong opinions about matters related to them. In terms of religion, the stakes are often raised when people believe that getting faith wrong can lead to an immoral life, or worse, an eternity in hell. Religious sensibilities can be most polarizing when people get married or when children are born. At such times, it is not uncommon to find family members and friends expressing strong opinions about how and where they believe couples should marry or the need to baptize infants. It can be hard to know how to deal with those who have strong religious convictions. On the one hand, there is the natural desire to do your own thing, but on the other the concern of appearing divisive. There may also be a sense of feeling overwhelmed, intimidated, or even guilty, especially when thinking of doing things differently. Expectations to follow family and religious traditions can also weigh heavily on the conscience. It's important to remember that when it comes to making decisions on behalf of yourself and your family, that you are doing so on behalf of yourself and your own family. Despite the strong religious convictions others might have, there really is no reason to feel obligated to live according to them. In many religions, we actually find an emphasis placed on making personal decisions. Yet at the same time, we should be concerned not to create discord amongst those close to us, especially as the ripple effects of doing so can often be felt for many years to come. In dealing with the strongly opinionated, it is good to acknowledge their opinions. Very often people want to simply feel that they have been listened to, and taking time to do so costs us very little. It doesn't mean we are then in agreement with them. It's just taking some time out of our day to listen to them and acknowledge their concerns. This will also help us understand why they have strong views about a particular subject and could provide an important starting point for discussion. For instance, if someone believes doing X is a biblical principle, then we could use Scripture to explain why we are doing things differently. We could point out, for example, that in the Bible, hypocrisy and not living an authentic life is contrary to God's will. In Mark chapter 7, verse 7, Jesus condemns those who merely pay lip service to religious traditions when he says, "These people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me." In fact, Jesus' strongest words were reserved for those who did things merely to look good amongst others, and for the sake of preserving tradition. So we might say to the strongly opinionated that whilst we respect their beliefs, it appears that the Bible promotes being honest and living true to our own convictions. Of course, being blunt about the fact that we do not share the same beliefs may lead to accusations of falling away from the truth or backsliding. However, we might soothe the situation by suggesting we are not opposed to change and could in time reconsider our position. Again, Christians could use the Bible to support this and show that although Thomas doubted, he also came to have experiences which changed his mind. One day someone opposed to baptizing their child might change their mind and decide to baptize their child, or have a marriage blessed in church. This is not to say they will do this, but it is simply a way of reassuring the strongly opinionated that they remain open-minded and not dismissive of the other options. It's unfortunate that sometimes people are threatened with various notions of divine judgment and retribution for not doing things the right way. But if this happens, one simply needs to draw attention to the image of a patient, understanding, and loving deity we also find in Scripture. Verses such as, "Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love," 1 John chapter 4 verse 8, are useful sources of inspiration at such times. In fact, showing love and respect for all is summed up in the principle of treating others as we want them to treat us, which, as Jesus said, is the foundation of the law and the prophets and the key to living as God desires.